scroll through the server list. And so I found a couple of them. And the first time I went on to this one, you log in, and the starting circle was pretty much non-existent. There was a bone mass stone and another stone, and they were kind of like semi-floating and kind of like lumped together. And there was nothing else. It was just like no trees, nothing. It was like obliterated for like, well, what looked like miles. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, well, this is interesting. I definitely need to find a very strategic hidden spot. So I went and I searched a couple spots, and I found one a fair decent away. Built myself a portal so that I could get back to it, a hidden portal. And then I decided I was going to go exploring, and I found this mountain that had, like, pretty much top of the mountain all the way down to the ocean. The ground had all been like messed up, and I was like, this is interesting. I'm gonna go see what's at the top of the mountain. And it was a big steep mountain, and I made it about halfway up the mountain, and I found this castle that was just, I liked the location of it and everything. And I was like, it was like, you know, one of the game generated ones. And I was like, I'm gonna fix this up as like a little base. And so I was working on that and then the server didn't get updated when the update went through. And then I think it was like 2-3 days later, they finally updated it so I could go back in. And I continued to build on the castle, and then one day I see someone in there, and I was like, ooh, because I'm constantly checking to see who's on the server. And they said hello because they saw that I was on. And I had my location turned off, so I have the feather cape, and I just like jumped off the mountain to get away from where I was building before I said hi, because I knew that it was going to ping my location if I talked back. And they came over, and they were just kind of like watching me as I was like fixing up this little village that I found at the bottom. And I was like, sup? And they didn't say anything, and they just kind of like jumped around, looked what I was doing, and then got bored and left. And I was like, oh, phew. So then I go back up to the mountain and start working again. And a little while later, someone else came in, but his name, I figured he had to be a regular of the server or something, because his name was Griefer's Hunter, and he actually had his location turned on. So I was like, okay, still don't really want anyone to know, just to be on the safe side. I don't want anyone to know where I am. So I went back down to the little village and was working, and sure enough, he, you know, shouted out to me, and then we got to chatting, and he wanted to come see what I was working on. So I was like, sure, go ahead. And of course he had mods and everything, so he could like fly over and do whatever. And I think I don't know if he was like the owner of the server, or if he was just an admin. But he set me up with a portal to his base, and gave me a bunch of supplies when he found out that I was a vanilla builder. And took me on a tour of his things. It was fun. So I'm like, I like this server now. I got a friend on this server. And yeah. So I was playing on that server again today. But yeah, the trolls are real pains in the backside. Back when the trolls were just starting to get really bad, me and another friend had a public server, and it was just, she just had it like, it was what do they call it, the dedicated server that you have on your computer. And we had a few friends, and pretty much all of us were